What's going on? Welcome to the latest episode of FlagPlus Football's First and Goal podcast. I'm your host, Brent Bodkin.
And I'm Quaysie for the Maule.
All right, so first episode, we did all the 6v6, all the men's divisions. Of course, now for episode number 2, we have co-ed, we have 5v5, and of course, we have the women's divisions part of me as well. Sorry, it's been a long day. So we have two special guests here to kick off the show who have been patiently waiting for us to stop talking for the first episode. Now they're going to have their chance to come on the second episode. So let's give a warm welcome to, from She Sparks part of me, Tabitha Thomas, to the captain, and Channy Mich, again, from She Sparks. So thank you, ladies, for coming on to the show. We appreciate you guys taking some time. I know you guys just had a game, right? You were playing earlier
Yeah,
tonight?
yeah, we just had a game, yeah.
Okay, so how'd it go?
Good.
It was pretty well. We won. It was 24
To
6.
6,
Yeah.
but it started, Kirby was late.
Yeah, so
So
I
she
started
has-
QB.
Yeah.
For the first time, I tried QB and she touched my
I
first
mean-
TD.
Yeah, so we were all over the place.
Yeah,
We can say that like that.
at the very beginning, but she came after like I think
The
5
second
to
play,
10
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, I can see the stats are actually up. I see you went 4 for 8, 45 yards, and you threw 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
You guys knocked off the dynamics. Yeah, like you said, 24-6. It's obviously a great game, both sides of the ball, right? So I mean, obviously, so congrats on that. What was the experience like for you, Tabitha? They said you played quarterback for the first time, like you said, 4 of 8, 45 yards, like Quaysie said, a touchdown. What was that experience like for you?
Actually, it was not stressful. It was more exciting for me. I mean, for me, it was a practice. I wasn't stressful because we are second in the standings. So I just tried. I didn't want it to be stressed or whatever. So just to try, and then I trust my teammates so they can catch the ball. And yeah, so it was pretty fun for me.
Yeah, like you're actually kind of right with the standings, right? At the end of the day, even if you guys lost that goal, I mean, let's just say it didn't go as well, you guys could move from the second seed. So
Yeah.
not much, no stress in that situation.
So, looking at your team, right, overall, I mean, since like the second half of the season, like you ladies have been really, really impressive, right? I mean, you have the win tonight, right? You have a win over A-Town. You have another win over Dynamic. You beat Spartiats. You beat Lioness. You beaten Spartiats again. You guys have won, I'm looking here, I believe 6 games in a row to finish off the regular season. Why have you guys, or sorry, why have you ladies been so good the last couple of weeks?
Honestly, we've been practicing. Like even if we are adults, we've been practicing 2 times a week.
Yeah, Thursday and Friday
Yeah,
night.
we've been practicing. We do some videos. Like you guys saw, like every time we have like 3, 4 coaches. We have someone that films us. So we do some videos. We're practicing. That's all about. Yeah, that's all about it.
And we also do film studies. So everything are filmed by one of our friends. So shout out to Mich. And every game we watching a video. Me for my part, I'm watching the whole game like 4 to 5 times.
Till 5 a.m.
Yeah. Like after the game until 2 a.m. 3 a.m. I'm talking to Shani and we spotted some things and we correct that for the next game. We still also doing some mistakes, but we're still learning from them.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Nice.
Okay, that's it. The practice is obviously paying off for you ladies, 100%.
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Shout out to Coach Yvan.
Yeah,
That's our
Coach
coach.
Yvan.
Yeah.
Yvan Salomon.
Yvan Salomon. He's giving our so much time to progress and tips and his energy, learning, and everything. So shout out to
Yeah.
him.
I mean, he's a guy that's coaching women. You know how women are. So
It's not easy. It's really not easy.
No, it's cool to see you guys like from looking at from season 1 where you guys kind of started and looking at season 3, you see a big difference in your game and how you guys are performing. It kind of shows, right? Practicing 2 times a week, it's a big deal,
Yeah.
Again, as you said that we're not teenagers anymore. We're not in CJ. We're adults. People have
Yeah.
jobs. They have stuff to do. And also the fact that you guys are actually adding film in that situation too is also pretty good. Where a lot of people don't do it, but you can see the improvements with your team.
Yeah.
I think that's.
Yeah, it's cool for sure. So looking at the standings right now, like Quaysie said, right? Like, so you guys are locked into that second seed with that 8-2 record. You finished 1 point behind Lehibu, who finished 8-1-1. I know Channy, I talked to you. I saw you on Monday night. That's where you agreed to come on the pod, right? We were both at Saint Laurent. We watched the Hebrew game. They laid a beat down 34-6
Yeah.
on A-Town. Going back to the regular season, right? You play Hebrew in week 4. You beat them 26-19. So that's obviously a big win for you guys. But then they beat you in the rematch back in week 8, 19-8. So I think at this point of the season, I mean, I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but you and them finished 1-2 in the standings. The rubber match, the third and final meeting, will take place in the playoffs. What do you ladies have to do to knock off Hebrew in the postseason?
Practicing. We just need to practice.
Yeah.
Practice defense. Talk. We need to stop all the ball. We're going for the ball, not the flag. We just want interception. That's it. We want all picks.
And us in offense is really to like score and catch the ball the every time that we get, and when we miss it, it's not to like stick on it, but we're gonna get the next one. Victoria wasn't here, I think, the second game against
Yeah.
Ibu. So well, Victoria is our big spark in offense. So I think the fact that she wasn't there at that game, uh, I think that we could have won it if she was there. But yeah,
I think she's gonna win the two-way player.
yeah,
Hands
I
down.
think so. I think
Hands
so.
down.
I think she's gonna win two-way player too.
Yeah.
Kind of going off what Brent kind of said, right? So he kind of jumped forward from the rematch from Niboo. You
Mhm.
guys actually are gonna play your first round matchup will be against
I'm
yeah
sick, actually.
uh Diamnics, yeah, CCL, right?
Yeah.
So you basically get to play a rematch of the team that you guys just beat. I
Again
mean,
in the playoff,
first round, right?
first round. I thought it was going against Sunsick.
Let 1 and 2 get buys. Oh yeah, sorry, my mistake. I forgot 1 and 2 get buys. Sorry. Okay, rewind here. Okay, so you guys pledged to the number 2 seed buy. So if everything kind of goes well, you guys will play the number 3 seed. You guys play H Town.
Yeah.
If they end up winning their game, which they should, but you never know. But I'm just gonna move forward and kind of ask the question: what do you guys have to do? Sorry, how are you guys gonna prepare yourself to play that game?
It's against Unsick, right?
Yeah, it will be the second seed versus
Yeah.
the third seed.
So me in like Brett said, me and Ivan, we went on Monday to see Ibu playing against Ansik, and we start looking at their plays, who's got the ball, how they play their defense. So we already know like kind of their their base on defense, so we can play against that. But honestly, it's just trusting and playing.
Mhm.
That's it. But we've been prepared for a long time. We're gonna have a practice tomorrow, so starting by tomorrow,
Because
practice.
yeah,
Yeah.
looking at the standings, right? You guys played them twice. You guys
Yeah.
played them week 2, where they won 9-6, which you don't really see. You don't really see a score of 9-6 a lot. And then
Yeah.
you guys played them again in week 13, where you guys won 13-12.
Yeah.
So you guys shared
By
one
one.
loss, one win. And I think that's pretty much the team that you guys were kind of the closest. So are you guys nervous to the fact that it's the one team that you guys played 2 really tough games against?
Honestly, I won't be stressed because the second game our QB wasn't there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think if our QB was there, it's gonna be something much different.
Oh,
Like
definitely. Yeah.
definitely different. Like I know my QB can throw, I know my receiver can catch it, so it will be a different games.
Yeah, I think the last game against Ansik, we would have scored more than that because our QB know our skills and she
That's
know our
strange. Yeah.
players. But this QB didn't really know us, so it was kind of itchy. But yeah, we would definitely score more than that if we had our QB.
Okay.
So looking at keeping with A Town, right? So, I mean, again, so you were there, obviously, Shani, on Monday. I again covering this league. There's a lot of teams, right? I'm not going to be able to see every single team. Neither is Quaysie. Uh, I hadn't seen A Town this season. When I got to the field and I started taking the roster, it's like 17 players. I was like, they have offense, they got defense, they got like special teams.
Yeah.
Um, you ladies, you have 10 players that are eligible to play on the playoffs, so you have a pretty big team as well. But how do you guys deal with kind of some of the depth, like the amount of players that A Town has? Because they could keep players coming in the lineup, in and out the lineup fresh. Like, how do you guys deal with the amount of players on their team?
Stick to the program.
But
Stick to the program. Yeah.
also our girls can play. There's girls that can play both ways, so
Yeah, we do have.
we're
Yeah.
not stressed about that. I for myself play both ways. Victoria play both ways, and there's another girl that plays
Yeah.
both ways too. So if anything happens, well, we can cover for that.
We will always do some adjustment. Like if we see like some, like for example, there's a weak side, we're always gonna adjust to it. So yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, so looking at your roster, right? I mean, Shanny, remember seeing you, actually, with both of you actually a couple years ago, and even now, we're playing for Block Party, right? And I've said it tons of times on this podcast, like I love going to a Block Party game. Like it's always fun, it's always hype, it's always loud, it's always a good time. Looking at this team though, like she sparks, right? Again, like Quaysie said earlier, right? You guys started off first couple seasons not doing so well, but you guys have built, right? You guys have built your team into a strong squad right now. What's kind of like what's the identity? What's the vibe around your team?
Um, I'm still like searching for the identity because we changed some girls. We started with a few girls that's not here anymore. So I'm still looking for the identity of She Sports because we want to be stable. So we want a team that stays during next season. So, but I will say my vision of She Sports is really to add some spark. I think that every girl have a spark. um, it can be in offense or defense. If it's aggressivity, if it's speed, if it's I don't know, movement or whatever. So I'm still looking for girls like that. We still progress to like because we're not 100%, but we doing our best, and I think that one day we'll be stable and we have a team that's not gonna have a rotation or whatever.
Nice.
Okay, nice. Okay. Okay.
I have a question for both you guys. So, looking at your stats really fast and, and briefly here, you both had sorry, you guys both had a same season. Tabitha, you pretty much doubled your stats and your touchdowns from the past first year. I want to say going. Let me just open up here. Sorry, I believe you had 800 yards. Yeah, so you had 804 yards and 12 TDs. I believe your first season you had 404 yards and 4 TDs, or your second season, but you basically doubled it. How do you feel about like the stats that you put up this season?
I'm really proud, and it's crazy because I think at the mid-season I had a growth pain, so I couldn't run at my best, but somehow I still doing very like much yards, so I'm pretty proud of that. I think on the field I'm more excited, I'm more focused on the match, and after that, je dis en français, mais je peux boiter là, littéralement après une game, je commence à boiter. Mais je pense que je donne mon 100% et je te dirais qu'avec l'ajout de Victoria Bouchard, she's a great spark in our team. And seeing this young lady is really pushing me to be at my best because I see her running and she runs really fast. She's catching good catches. So this pushes me. So I think avoir une bonne alliée comme ça aussi, ça m'a beaucoup aidé durant la saison. Et also this season with two practices per week because before it was one per week or whatever. So c'est sûr que ça aussi, ça va beaucoup aider à progresser durant ma saison.
Okay, nice. And Channy, you had 12 INTs. This, I think you had one today, right? So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think you finished with 13. I don't think they updated this one. So I think you have 13 INTs now, which
No, it's
I
12.
think.
She's
Well,
my
okay,
twin.
Twin.
12.
12
12,
TDs,
yeah.
12 interceptions.
Yeah.
12, yeah, exactly. So looking at the defensive wise, since you're the team captain and yeah, I think you call your defense. Ish.
If Ivan's not there, I'm calling the defense.
Okay,
But
so you
pretty much Ivan's is here to help me. Yeah.
okay, so you're like the leader of the defense. How does it feel getting 12 INTs with one of them being a pick six?
Honestly, great. Like, I've been working so hard, guys. No, I've been working hard. Honestly, it's been only 2 years I'm playing flag. So yesterday, if you ask me like what's a pick six, I'm gonna look at you like, what is that? I don't understand what it is.
Yeah.
But they've been told me like, Shani, don't take the flag. We don't want the flag. Just go get the ball. Go get the ball. And I always look at them like, did you see how small I am? I'm like, cut bum, okay, cut bum. I can do anything, but I had to learn how to read people, how to cut some routes so I can catch the ball. So yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
So to switch gears for a second, let's talk about Block Party, right? But you guys have been with Block Party for a number of seasons. Again, I know from watching your games, right? Again, like I said, I've called some of your games and like finals. I've watched a lot of your games from scorekeeping. Again, like you guys are one of my favorite teams to watch. You guys, it's always fun. There's a little bit of trash talking. It's always physical. The games. It's a lot of fun to see. For people that haven't seen Block Party play yet, can you describe like just the energy and the vibe that you guys have on that team?
We are loud.
Yeah, loud.
So loud.
But we are a big family. We got so much supporters, like through the through the rain or big storm or whatever. Like people are still there. So the support means everything to us, and we support each other. Like even in offense or defense, we support each other. We're like, okay, next one. I think we have a great energy in our
Great
team.
chemistry too.
Yeah.
Like we're not just friends. We're more like family. We're doing some gathering. Like yeah. Yeah, no, we were more than like, it's family. Like Block Party is a family. Everyone who's here is family. Everyone who come to support us is family. So yeah.
Okay, nice. That's cool. That's always good to see. That's always great to see, especially in FPF, right? Like it's a family community. So the fact that you guys are really kind of pushing that family vibe, I think is really cool. Um, so with the playoffs coming up again for both your teams, right?
Mhm.
How excited are the both of you for the playoffs to start?
We're excited. Yeah.
We already talking about we have to get practice outside, guys. Like the snow is not there, so we trying to schedule some practices before the playoffs. So we're excited. We have une confiance en nous aussi. Like we're not stressed about that. On croit en notre équipe, on croit en nos joueurs. Donc yeah. So we ready for the playoff. We be ready.
Okay, okay. You're gonna go crazy?
Yeah. Well, I have one. I have one more. I have one last question. Um, so you're kind of talking about she sparks, and it kind of means like to be a she spark, you kind of have to have some spark in you, right? So that's
Yeah,
the
definitely.
vibe that you're getting. So right now you guys are in women's three, right? You guys are kind of excelling women three. Women three, you're kind of defining who you guys are. You're getting your name out. You guys are what's it called? You guys are improving. You guys are getting better. You guys are doing what it takes. When do you guys see um sorry when do you guys see yourself taking the next step and going into women's two?
We're gonna have a surprise for you for next
Yeah,
season.
we can't say
Yeah.
now.
We can't say now, but we're gonna have a surprise for you for next season.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no division dodging with She Sparks. It's good. It's good to see. It's good to see. It's refreshing to see. It's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So when I ask you guys like two personal questions. So Obviously, you guys are members of the FPF community. How did the both of you get into flag football? Is flag football something you two ladies were interested in, like growing up, or how'd you guys get involved in football?
Um, Me, I started in primary. I was in sixième année, and after that, I played in secondaire and collège. Et après ça, c'était des ligues civiles. I didn't get to university in flag, but I did some years in and out. So yeah, I play since I was like 10 years old.
Come on. Um, like I said, it's been only 2 years I've been playing. I've been coming to watch Block Party's game. I've been like to their game and everything. So since then, I've been like liking flag football. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I like this. I like that. And Ivan was always bring me with him. So it's like, okay, Shani, come watch my game. Shani, come this to that. And then I was like, and then 2 years ago, this one girl that used to play in Block Party, she asked me if I wanted to join her team. I'm like, yes, I can, but I don't know anything about flag. And since then, here I am with 12 interceptions. So yeah,
We play
Yeah,
together
my
in
first
the Show Me Your TV.
yeah, my first
That's
season
how
with
I
her. That's how we
yeah,
met.
that's how we
Yeah,
met.
Okay.
And then I took her with me into the sports.
and then we're package deal. So if
Yeah.
a team wants us, we're package deal. Offense,
Offense,
defense.
defense, yeah.
Good. Like how? So, Shani, I'll ask you. So since you're new, right, and you didn't grow up playing football, how like addictive was it for you? Like the first time you got onto the field and you realized I can do this. Like how fast did you get addicted to playing?
I didn't understand shit.
She was lost.
Like it was
lost.
like, yeah, do a 5 in. I was like, it's like, you know what? Just take five and just turn. I'm like, okay. I was like, how do we say that? A bibelot in the field, like a statue.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? Let me be the decoy. I'm fine with it. I'm just gonna go do some cardio. So yeah, that was my first season.
But what I like about Shani is like she gonna ask question until she get it. She
Oh,
can't ask the
yeah.
same question until she get it, and she do it on the field, action, practicing. So this is one thing I really like about her, and she's learning fast too.
Okay.
Okay.
That definitely
Uh,
something you need when you're
Sorry?
also playing. I said sorry. That's something definitely you need if you ask questions. You know, that's the best
Yeah.
thing
Mhm.
to do.
for sure. So last question before we get you guys out of here. So again, you guys have been in the league now for a couple of seasons. Especially for you, Tabitha, like growing up playing football, like you said, in elementary school, high school, and college, right? Where do the both of you right now see the game of football from like a woman's perspective? Because I mean, right now I think it hasn't been more popular, especially right here in the province of Quebec, right? Like the popularity of flag football, even in the world, is picking up. If I could talk, where do the two of you see flag football right now for ladies?
I would say it's getting big. I mean, it's international. So me for myself, I'm always watching flag football in USA, Mexico, like in many countries. So I think it's gonna get bigger than what we think. I think it started like this year or last year or whatever, and over the years it's gonna just be bigger. And I think women's too, they also good as much as guys. They doing big catches, big interceptions. So there's a equal about that, and I think we are great like asset in a co-ed team or whatever. It's not just women's team, but also when we're playing mix too. So yeah, I don't know about you.
And I think by like 2 years, in 2 years, I think flag football women's gonna be big. Like honestly, big. Like some school didn't have it, like they didn't even have flag, and they start putting flags in secondary school. So yeah,
Okay. And sorry, so one more bonus question. Block Party and She Sparks will win their respective championships if what happens?
sorry, can you repeat?
Okay. Block Party and She Sparks will win their championships
If
if what? You tell me. You guys will win your
We have
championships
to.
if
We have
what?
to.
What do you have to do to win a championship?
What are we gonna do after the championship?
Oh, what
Oh,
guys for both your teams, for Block Party and for She Sparks to win their championships, what do you guys have to do to lead them to a championship?
Pixies.
Well,
That's for me.
for me, I think like less talking and more action.
Yeah. Let's talk more action. Getting to the ball. That's
And
it.
stay focused.
And play. Yeah.
Well,
We just need to play. We just need to play.
Okay.
I have one last question, and then Brian, if you have another question, I just want to ask: do you prefer playing women's or co-ed?
For me, both.
Both. Honestly, both.
It's too dynamic. Me, I think that j'ai plus de performance in women's than co-ed. But I like to play co-ed because playing with guys and everything, it's like
More challenging.
more challenges pushing
Yeah.
you to. And playing with women's, like I like the spirits and everything. So I like them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, nice. All right. Just want to say best of luck to the both of you in the playoffs. Obviously, big game tonight for you ladies. So congrats on the W. Best of luck the rest of the way, though. Obviously, with Block Party and with She Sparks, and hope to see you guys championship weekend. Like maybe we can call your games, hopefully.
Yes.
Yes,
Hopefully.
thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night, and thanks again. Appreciate
Bye,
it.
have a great night. Bye bye.
All right, so that was Channy, Mich, and Tabitha Thomas of She Sparks and also of Block Parties. So yeah, it was nice, man. Had them on and chopped it up, talked some ball and that. Good times. Good times. Yeah, you guys can leave.
Um,
You can leave. Thank you, ladies. All right, so yeah, man. So that was good. Like I said, we talked some women's three. We talked some co-ed. We talked a little bit of women's three in there.
do you wanna
Um,
do you wanna start with women's? No, I mean we talked about it. Do you wanna just kind of well, women's do something really talk about after this point, right? So
yeah,
we
women's three is
actually
done
kind of
because we don't have the
we
playoff
kind of
matchups yet.
sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say women's three is done because we don't have like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
times and the different
Yeah, and
matchups.
you kind of we talked about how Lihibu put a beat down at A Town. You kind of
Yeah.
did you talk about that or was that the other? That was the other
Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it.
on part one, right? I think.
No, it was this part because I talked about it with Shani because Shani was there. She was at the
Oh yeah,
game, like she said.
yeah. Okay.
And
All
we
right. So
talked
let's
about it.
do women's two then, right?
The women's too. So women's too. So it's kind of unique, right? So the regular season ends tonight. There was a game Monday. Supernova beating the sorority 31-12 and Bolts with the beatdown of Powerpuff 26-7. There's three games going on tonight. So one's already finished. The Vanier Cheetahs knocking off the Rock 27-21 down in Broussard. That game started at 8 o'clock, so it just finished. The game's been uploaded. I can see it already on the website. Looking at it here.
They just knocked
Laura
out.
Olivier. Pardon?
They just ruined the Rock season to get into the playoffs.
Yeah. So there's a heartbreak there. Hameen Kaur, 4 TD passes. She was picked off 3 times, but she did enough for the victory. Laura Oliveira Aruda had 106 yards and a touchdown in that game. Lucia Stoica had 2 TDs in that game. For her squad, the other side, Caroline Menard of the Rock had 3 touchdown passes in the win, but again, her team falling just short. Again, losing 27 to 21 in that contest. So heartbreak there for the Rockets, like you said, right? Looking at the division, right, in terms of the playoff, it's 1 through 12 with the first 4 teams getting that first round bye, and with that loss, right, that pretty much ruins it for
The Rock,
sorry,
yeah.
for the Rock.
That's
The Rock finishing
that's surprising.
14th seed. It's actually even behind Turf Titans.
Yeah, that's very surprising that the Rock doesn't make playoffs this season. Again, I know their roster. I know their roster. Was it consistent? And there's a team. Is it their roster? No, their rosters were consistent. I think they just kind of struggled a bit with the girls that they did have. Again, which is kind of weird because this is the team that's the Rock has been around for a while with the players that they do have. Yeah, I'm looking at it around. It seems like
They have experience on this team.
exactly the fact that they only won 2 games this season is it's strange, and the fact they also they're not making a playoff experience is also kind of strange. But I know it happens, and hopefully they're able to bounce back and they could come back in the spring or come back in the winter and kind of get a reset.
Emily DeRoche is pregnant. So congrats to her. So at the quarterback position, right? Because this is a team last year where they kind of got put together. Well, they put themselves together, and she was a quarterback. So Caroline Menard, they're kind of replacing her. But like Elamé Dupuis, I've seen her play Ball, Josiane Martin, Chippy Brown, 100%. She's like one of the toughest players, period, in FPF, right? Kayla Gauthier has been around for a long time, an impact player as well. Yeah, they Nora Sassy, a lot of veterans on this team. Yeah, I'm surprised as well that they missed the postseason, right? I mean, this is a squad with a lot of experience and a lot of playmakers on both sides of the ball. So, unfortunately, at the end of the season, and losing to Vanny Cheetahs. Looking at the matches, so Valhalla took on Old School tonight. That's also a bizarre. That game hasn't been uploaded yet. Unfortunately, that started at 7, and it's starting at 9. So pretty much right now, we have Blue Legacy taking on the Wolfpack to wrap up the regular season here, and in women's, pardon me too.
Yeah, that old school game versus old school. Actually, it already happened, right? So
Yeah,
old school versus Valhalla already happened.
yeah,
But that game is kind of big because the winner, if old school wins that game, they improve to 9-1. It makes a three-way tie where Chaos would actually win that three-way tie, and they would jump up as a number 1 seed. And then they wouldn't. Yeah, so they would jump as number 1 seed. And then actually Nomads might go down as to the 3rd seed, which pretty much doesn't change anything because at the end of the day, it would be old school versus Nomads in say the semis if they end up going, the best teams win. But it's interesting to see that game kind of implies who's going to get the number 1 seed and who's going to get the number 2 seed between Chaos and Nomads, because old school technically can't get the 1 or 2 because they have too many points against. Actually, they could get the 2.
yeah.
They actually get the 2. They can't get the 1 unless they win. Like if they would have to let Valhalla would have to score 0 points, less than 3
Yeah,
points.
that's very yeah.
I mean, we've seen Stranger Things, but it's going to be interesting to see who actually claims that 1 seed. Is it going to be Nomads or is it going to be Chaos?
Okay, so let's hop over to women's 1. Regular season wraps up tonight in women's 1. No rivalry matchup. We have Sub-Zero, number 1 seed, with a 7-2 record, taking on a bit of a surprise, the number 3 seed, 6-3 Cayenne. Again, that game taking place in about 15 minutes down in Chateauguay. So best of luck to those both teams playing. They met once in the regular season, back in week 10. So Cayenne beating Sub-Zero by a score of 27-7 in that game. Of course, I believe Sub-Zero in that game, yeah, missing a lot of the regular starters. So Sarah Parker wasn't there. A lot of players weren't there in that game. Genevieve Forte filled in that contest for Sub-Zero, had 5 INTs in the matchup, so kind of a cakewalk win. For Cayenne, of course, Cayenne was missing a couple of their players as well, right? Like Gabriel Sandrine, pardon me, Gobe Hiwat was not there, and Tyra's Legacy, who's a fantastic quarterback, filled in. Usually plays on the team, but she had 4 touchdown passes in that game. So a rarity that they only played each other once in the regular season. But again, they'll have a chance. They're meeting tonight in a few minutes down in Chateauguay. So we'll give you with the playoffs starting next week. Next time we're here, we'll try to give you maybe a quick update on that game. Because again, looking at the standings, right? Like I said, Sub-Zero sitting on top with a 6-3 record. If Cayenne could get the win, Cayenne is big because they would leapfrog Matrix, who sit in second. Right? Matrix are 6-3-1. Matrix regular season is done. They have 13 points. Cayenne has 12. So if Cayenne could get the sweep on Sub-Zero, they'd be tied points wise, and then they would get the head-to-head tiebreakers. And Cayenne would actually finish in first and women's one, and it would drop down Sub-Zero to second place in the standings. Of course, 5 teams in this division. Blue Pod, they're at fourth place with 2-7-1 is their record. Their season is done, as is Sherbrooke Ferrier, 2-8 is their record. So it would be 1 through 3 getting a first round bye and 4v5. So this Blue Pod against the Sherbrooke Ferrier that's already locked in. But who's going to finish first and second and third? This comes down to tonight's contest, or the outcome of tonight's contest between Sub-Zero and Kyan and Strategy.
Yeah, and that's actually huge because they avoid each other. Whoever wins that game avoids Matrix in the semis, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You 100% rather play Sherbrooke or Blue Blood in the whoever wins their matchup because they're playing versus each other first in the quarterfinals, you would say. So it's 4 versus 5, and then it would be 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. So again, Sub-Zero, Matrix, Clan are kind of similar teams. They have a shit ton of good athletes both ways. So I think and Blue Blood, and Sherbrooke. Everyone has everyone has good athletes. But I'm saying as a number 1 seed, you prefer to play Blue Blood or Sherbrooke in that semifinal round compared to playing a Matrix or Cayenne, where that could be potentially a final matchup. So we have it's actually a lot on the line tonight's game versus Sub-Zero versus Cayenne. We also have Sarah Parker, which is kind of interesting to see. She hasn't thrown a pick this season yet. Right now, she's 32-0. So we're kind of looking to see if she's going to be. I'm pretty sure one of the first quarterbacks to kind of play like a full season and throw 0 INTs. So a little history also to be made.
Yeah. And that's interesting. It's been nice if we can see in the record books. I mean, we can, I guess. Maybe for next week's show, we could try to see if anyone else has done that. I don't think there's ever, even like the great Kevin Wyatt.
I think Joe Meyer has done it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Joe Meyer.
Now next week's show, we'll both do our research. We'll come back and find out if that's true, because that's a phenomenal thing. Listen, for as great as a lot of these great quarterbacks are, to throw 0 picks. So shout out to Sarah Parker for the stats she's putting up this season, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely going to be your QB of the year as well too, because something else talk about. We have awards coming up too, right? So want to just kind of look at here and there, but yeah, it's definitely the stats she's having now. She has 7 games played tonight. If she does play, who knows? Maybe she doesn't play. But if she does play, it'll be 8 games played. Right now, her stats are 1,758 yards passing, 32 touchdowns, and 0 INTs. A completion rate of 78.6, which is pretty damn good, and a QE rating of 144, which is insane if you look at it. So big shout out to her.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Let's go.
Okay, so we're gonna go co-ed 5v5, or do you want to do?
Let's go co-ed. Go co-ed 3. Let's go co-ed 3.
Co-ed 3?
Yeah, go co-ed 3.
Okay. All right, let's just hop on co-ed here. All right, so co-ed 3. Looking at the schedule right now, right? A little interesting, obviously, for this division, where it all wrapped up tonight, right? There was one final game taking place, and they had 2 on Sunday. You touch it, you catch it, knocking off Fatty's 40-30, and Shaquille Oatmeal with a 33-12 victory over Sax Appeal. The one game to wrap up the regular season, like I said, took place tonight at 8 o'clock in Brassard, so that game's been uploaded already. Hot Dogs with a 44-36 win over the 1-Niners. Looking quickly at the stats from that game. Matthew Landry, 8 of 15, 128 yards. So not a lot, but out of those 8 completions, 4 of them went for touchdowns. So pretty solid outing by him. The other side, so Brandon Bagley threw 6 touchdowns in the game, but then 3 INTs. 3 of those touchdowns went to my main man, Alex Big Play Blaze. So it's always nice to see him. And 2 of them went to Vivian Langlois Mainville. But again, a big loss there for the 1-Niners. Again, they got 3 sacks from their defense in that game, but again, they fell, unfortunately. Landry, so I talked about, right, 8 completions, 4 touchdown passes. He looked like a running back. 5 carries, So Quaysie, you'll appreciate this. 5 carries for 124 yards and a touchdown.
That's
So
Sacapille?
sorry.
What team is that? Sorry, Sacapille?
This is no, the one in pardon me, it's
Oh,
the
that's
hot
dogs.
dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
Hot dogs.
You
So
want
Matthew Landry, sorry?
you want sorry, okay, sorry, continue.
No, Matthew Landry averaged 25 yards a carry.
You want to
5
laugh?
carries, 124 yards.
So that's one of the kids I coach. He's in Sec 4.
There you go.
So one thing, it's hilarious. So he's the type of guy that he plays actually with his brother Jonathan Landry as well. It's kind of like anyways. So one thing about this kid is that he gives me and Ryan Dobbs heart attacks because he's an extreme athlete. So when we play 7-on-7, even flag, he'll catch the ball and so he'll catch the ball and he'll run backwards. So he'll make a catch, he'll juke a couple 2 guys, he'll go all the way around, try to be a defender, and then keep going. But when we play 7-on-7, it's the full field, right? So he'll catch a ball and he'll make a juke and he'll go all the way around. So he'll gain 5 yards, go all the way back, lose like 10, almost get tackled, and then somehow avoid a bunch of people and then score a touchdown. But
I mean, if it works, hey.
No,
why not?
Yeah, when it works, when I'm not holding my breath.
It doesn't work. Like how much you lay into him when it doesn't work?
I just give him dirty looks. I just look at him. Because he knows. He knows, right? But again, you're young, and I understand because I was the same way. When you're fast, right? He's extremely fast, and he's but when it doesn't work, when it works, everyone's happy, right? When everyone's screaming, everyone's But when it's 3rd down and we need 5 yards, and you get the 5 yards, and for some reason you lose 10, and now it's 4th and 15 for some reason, it's not the best situation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He's also not even a quarterback; he's a receiver. So
yeah, well, he's quarterback tonight, so hey, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Kind of looking at the playoffs, right? So Fatties, you said Fatties played, right? That's also a game that ended up happening, I believe, right? Fatties lost, but it wasn't the worst situation because they actually still make playoffs, right? Yeah, they finished the 3-7. There's actually there's 5 teams that finished 3-7. So unfortunately for 5 teams that finished 3-7. So fortunately for Show Me Your TDs, Delicious, points against kind of killed them. Delicious and Delicious actually this is crazy. Delicious and Delicious finished 3-7. They allowed 280. Fatties finished 3-7. They allowed 278. So it was by 2 points where Delicious and Delicious. It would actually be 3 because Delicious and Delicious would win the tiebreak. Fatties would win the tiebreak for points against points scored in total. So, but it's kind of interesting to see if they allowed one more touchdown, they would have been out of playoffs. I'm curious to think if they knew that. Like if they lost the game, they lost by more than 43, they would have been out.
All right, well, defense, right? Points against matters.
Yeah, just a food for thought to kind of just how I'm looking at it. Yeah, so I think that's it for Division Quad 3.
Yeah.
Let's go Quad 2.
So, yeah, looking at Quad 2 here, right now, right? Again, like I said, some divisions have wrapped up the regular season. Some divisions have not, right? And that's again, it was with FPF, and I mean, I know we made jokes about the schedules, but again, with so many teams in this league, that's going to be the case sometimes, right? So looking at here, obviously, the regular season wrapped up all the way back on April 6th, right? So a couple days ago, right? Almost 10 days ago. Playoffs have not happened yet, right? So we're still waiting for the playoffs, the playoff matchups to be announced, and the playoff schedule when the games are going to happen to be announced, right? We look at the division, 14 teams make it, right? So top four have a bye. You get the wild card, 11 versus 14 and 12 versus 3. So when the playoffs do finally kick off, it's going to be Michael Scott's Tots, who finished 11th, taking on Shark Attack, who finished 14th. That's actually a game I'm really looking forward to. Kenny Batuya and those guys, obviously he's super athletic. Shark Attack, a lot of athletic players on that team. And then you have the 12 seed Sour Patch Kids, who finished 4-5-1, taking on the number 13 seed 4-6, the injury reserve. So two matches, pardon me, between four teams when the wild card round kicks off in the next couple of days here in Kuwait too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great game. It's again like kind of same thing, kind of same thing. You had 1, 2, 3, 4. You had 4 teams that finished 5-5, where Michael Scott Tots kind of got the end of the stick, finishing the 11th seed, allowing 316 points. Where now they have to play that wild card round, where if their defense played just a bit better, and they allowed a bit less points, they could have got themselves out of it. And instead of kind of playing for do or die right now in the wild card round, they would have been in the divisional round. So it just kind of just goes to show that at the end of the day, even though a game that you don't think matters, and you guys are down by like 20 points, you're like, okay, screw it, like let them keep scoring. Like it could bite you in the ass, you know. So it's something to kind of look at, because sometimes in situations where, you know, like you lose that divisional round, and then you never know. Maybe if for some reason you were not even in divisional round, you played. You lose that wild card round, and for some reason, let's say you're able to get out the wild card round, you play divisional round, you guys would have played a better matchup or just a better game, and it's the possibilities is endless, but it just kind of goes to show that sometimes it's you kind of have to realize you have to lock in and not allow certain points at the last play of the game and stuff like that, or maybe end the game when you're supposed to. Some people, I know one situation, I think a team threw a pick six, and they had no reason. They could have just ended the game. Like, oh no, we want to keep playing. Ends up throwing a pick six, and they got themselves in a weird situation during playoffs, and it's just like, oh well, if we just ended it, this wouldn't have happened, you know. So sometimes think about the situations. But again, it's gonna be interesting to see good matchups. We're gonna see for that first round of playoffs, wild round.
Sure.
All
right. Hop over to Co-ed 1. Same thing. So no games tonight for Co-ed 1. The regular season wrapped up this past Sunday in Chattagee. Bit of a thriller. Lego My Flag knocking off Fit Squad 33 to 32 again to wrap up the regular season. Just looking at the highlights. So Lego My Flag in that game was up 20-6 at the halftime, and they almost blew that big lead, right? 2-touchdown lead, as they were outscored 26-13 in the second half by the Fit Squad. Trying to see this right now, how this game ended. Touchdown. Jeff Rosenblatt, from Lego My Flag. Throwing to Majou, their 16-yard TD. Plus, to getting the extra point to win the game. Fit Squad had 4 plays left to try and to tie it up there, or pardon me, to get the win, but they fell a little bit short. So again, a heartbreaking loss there for Fit Squad. And again, Rosaline, pardon me, Magic getting the game-winning TD. Actually, 3 TDs in that game for her. So she came to play. She was not messing around in that game. She had an INT on defense as well. Looking at the standings after that game, right? Like, so now Fit Squad, they dropped to 3-7. So their regular season is over. Like on My Flag, improving to 8-2, right? So of course, looking at the playoff, it's going to be the first 2 teams have a bye, and the 7th seed Plenty of Fish, who finished at 1-9, they're out of the dance. So it's going to be 3 versus 6 for the quarterfinals, and then 4 versus 5. So we'll have to see how those matchups go. But again, entertaining way to finish the regular season here in Co-ed 1.
Yeah. Also, crazy stat by Silly Goose. They dropped 456 points. They allowed 321, but still 456 points in the season. You're averaging 45 points per game, which is insane numbers.
Yeah, definitely. It's that's some offense right there. I'll tell you that. That's you're doing something right when you're putting up numbers like that, right? Like,
Kevin Wiles, 61 touchdowns, 2 INTs, 1 sack, completion rate of 76.3, QBR 142. So he had himself a season.
Pretty good.
Pretty,
All right.
pretty, probably one of my favorite shows.
Spot on. Spot on.
Co-ed 5v5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Code 5v5. So looking at that here, I miss I miss Kirby Enthusiasm.
Yeah,
Apparently, Larry Davis coming back with a new show. Apparently, not Kirby Enthusiasm, but a kind of a different show. I heard it from a buddy of mine who's kind of dialed into that stuff. I'm gonna try and find out because super excited. And speaking of super excited for shows, I was at work today and a buddy of mine sent me this on Facebook. He's like, apparently Chappelle might be bringing back Chappelle's show.
okay.
I don't know if you watched that dude growing up, like University. I think when it came out, like classic
Yeah, no,
Chappelle
it was
show.
good. Yeah, no, it was good. It's good. He also, I liked his last
Yeah, his last special on Netflix. Yeah, for sure,
he didn't give a
100%.
fuck. He was saying whatever he wanted to say too. So it's funny.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I mean, listen, he kind of calls it how it is, and he doesn't pull any punches. And I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
I think like a lot of the stuff he brings up, I know people get offended by some of it, but a lot of it is true, right? That he
Mhm.
says, and he talks about how people who look like us essentially kind of gone to the bottom of the total pole in terms of stuff that matters when it comes to certain things, and people when he makes jokes about other I guess not ethnic groups, but other types of people, I guess you could say, for lack of better terms, people get offended about that, and he's like, "Well, what happened to all this other stuff that kind of slid under the carpet and no one cared about?" But it is what it is. I mean, it's comedy, right? So I mean, you go to a comedy show, kind of got to expect that you're fair game, right? I mean, I think that's I've gone to like a million comedy shows. I love going to comedy shows, to be honest. And like, if you know you're someone's making jokes about you, it doesn't even have to be super respectful, but as long as they're not being like ridiculous, right? Making jokes, it's a comedy show, right? People
Yeah,
pay to see
it's part
people
of it. Yeah,
make
exactly.
people laugh, right?
Yeah, especially
That's what it
nowadays,
is.
it's really how most comedians kind of do their shows as well too.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
5v5 action, right? So we only had one game that happened April 12th. We had Gundam versus Nice to Meet You. This game was a slow show. It ended 15-14, where Gundam actually ended up winning in overtime. So nothing crazy kind of happened here. 15-14, something you don't really see. First half 6-6, second half 8-8, and then
Yeah,
overtime
yeah.
1-0. So kind of interesting to see that's how they end up their season. Didn't really change anything in general. I think if Nice to Meet You actually won that game and they had less points against, I think they would have jumped in that. Oh no, they won. I think ATs have the tiebreak on them, so it didn't really matter as much. It was kind of just a pride, kind of get the rhythm going because I realized and 5v5, there's big gaps. Since there's only 8 teams, there's big gaps in the schedule where you could have a couple 3 weeks off, 2 weeks off. Like my co-ed team, Airbuds, we literally our next game is April 28th, I think. And it basically means we haven't played in a month. That we're not going to be played in a month, so it's a big gap. So even though those 2 games didn't really matter, it's kind of keep the reps going in the chemistry and kind of to end the season on a good note. But yeah,
Okay. Yeah, and end the season on a good note. Speaking to your point, obviously that's something you want to do, right? Because we always talk about you want to go into the playoffs. Uh, Obviously playing your best ball. If you can have, if you could stack a couple wins ahead of time, that'd be great. But even if you can, at least going to the playoffs, winning your last game of the year, and at least feeling good about yourselves, and be like, all right, let's look at the positives, let's look at the negatives, see what we can correct. But you don't want to go in losing like 2 or 3 in a row or 3 out of 4, stuff like that. It's never a good sign, right? You want to go in there with, at least if you can win a couple of games in a row, but at the very least get that last W in
yeah,
the regular season. So you go into the playoffs kind of feeling that, okay, we know what it takes to win. We just did it. We can rely on that kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. For 5v5 again, the playoffs start in 2 weeks. We do pretty much have our matchup because there's no bye weeks. It's gonna be 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, and 4 versus 5. So we have some. There's going to be some good matchups. Again, we'll probably talk about it next week. But again, since I'm playing in this division as the 4th seed, we end up playing the 5th seed, Gundam. So I'm kind of excited to see that game, and I'm also excited to see other teams as well in this division. It's a new division, Kobe 5v5, right? It was kind of like a test to kind of see if we're gonna have enough interest to see if players, if anyone's going to be interested, or like, oh, maybe they'll kind of stick to 6v6. But we talked about before for the first time being as division, also as co-ed, to have 8 teams, it's pretty cool, and I think this division's going to grow year on moving forward.
Yeah, it's gonna grow for sure. I mean, we have 8 teams already. I remember even talking to Guillaume Bellon about it a few weeks ago. He even said himself like he likes the division a lot, and he's expects as well like to just get more and more and more teams. And again, FPF, not FPF, but flag in general, right? Not switching, but flag is obviously a 5v5 game in most leagues and most cities, most countries, right? And having the explosion of 5v5 here in FPF the last few seasons, it's really picked up steam, and I'd be shocked if it wasn't at least an additional 5 to 6 teams this coming spring season for co-ed 5v5.
Mm-hmm. But again, as we
let's
said,
hop over.
we'll talk about
Sorry?
it. No, as I said, we'll talk about more during the playoff matchups next week when it's closer.
Let me ask you quickly about this division since you're playing it. Who's kind of one of give me like one under the radar team that you think is really dangerous and can go all the way and get the chip?
Team?
Yeah, one team. Maybe we haven't talked about a lot.
To be honest with you, nice to meet you. Ben's team, if Ben is on his game, they have a pretty good damn roster. Like going up to down for it, you have Ben as quarterback that he's playing pretty good right now. He's playing really good in 6s. Fives, he doesn't play in 5s. He's kind of just he's with the Raw Dogs. He kind of has a double quarterback formation, so he's not as comfortable in 5. But when Ben is on, they have a pretty scary roster. You know, you have Bakari in there, you have Rory, so you have my KGB guys, and then also Ethan, great rusher, probably one of the best rushers right now in FPF. You have Nicholas Piai as well, too, great receiver, and then the girls, you have Abigail Pejerl, a great defender, Alice Goulet, also really good, and you have Eloise. That's also pretty good on defense. So I feel like this is a team where if you're not on your A game, they can torch you. And the fact, I think their defense is probably one of the best defenses, and they have one of the best rushers. So I think if it has to be a team, even though they're 2-8, you know, it's kind of it's crazy to say their team they're 2-8, how they're gonna win. I think this would be one of the teams. The only thing for them that's unfortunate is that they play Spicy Braves in the first round.
Yeah.
So it's not a matchup that's going to be the best. I mean, if they played Maple Syrup, I think it'd be a better matchup for them because Ethan would feel more comfortable rushing Mark, and he wouldn't have as much time to use his legs to roll out one way and kind of make a pass compared to Jonathan Mayer, where he's going to kind of just sit in the pocket and pick you off from what defensive coverages you're running. But again, if it's a team that could make that's the only issue with their matchup. But it's a team where like don't because you see they're 2-8, don't think they can't go all the way.
Fair enough. Okay, let's go to 5v5 intermediate. So the regular season in this division ends tonight. For matchup between Team Quebec U18 taking on the Hungry Hippos. Started about 15 minutes ago in Chateauguay. These two teams actually met last week, also at Chateauguay, last Thursday, April 9th, right? Team U Quebec with a 33-21 victory over the Hungry Hippos. So they're having a matchup 6 days later, so less than a week later. Looking at that first matchup, Team Quebec U18 got a solid performance out of Raphael Gabois, 19 of 20 for the young man. 219 yards, 5 touchdown passes. So he was one pass away from being perfect on the game. Ryder Higgs got 2 touchdowns. Jeremy St. Ville got 2. Neron Sexton had a trip to the end zone. They had Loic Thibault had about 6 catches, 45 yards. So pretty solid performance all around. Loic Thibault also had 3 pass deflections on defense, so he came to play both sides of the ball. On the other side, Rafael Dufour for Hungry Hippos, 20 of 35, 146 yards, 3 TDs, 2 to Philip Boucher, 1 to Charles Farrell. But again, they didn't have enough as they lost by 12 to Team Quebec U18. So obviously the rematch tonight in this division. Looking at the standings, Team Quebec U18, they're in second place, so they'll finish in second regardless of what happens. They have a 7-2 record. They have 14 points. They're 4 behind the 9-1 Flag Avengers. Hungry Hippos right now, they are in. They're locked in actually to the 5th seed because they have a 4-5 record. If they win, then they'll be 2 points behind the red zone. Right now, they're 4 points behind red zone. So those 2 seeds are locked in place already. Again, Hungry Hippos in 5th, Team Quebec U18 in second. Looking at the playoffs, right? 1 through 8, no buys in the first round. So yeah, Flag Avengers, they're going to take on the Benchwarmers who finished 0-10. Team Quebec U18, like I said, in second place, taking on Team Quebec U16. So that should be a pretty good game in a 2-8 matchup. Then we have Flags Online, the number 3 seed, 7-3 record, taking on the number 6 seed, 3-7 Green Monster. And in battle, usually it's always entertaining when it's 4 versus 5. Fourth place, pardon me, is Red Zone at 6-4, taking on the 5th place. As I said, Hungry Hippos will sit in 4-5. Again, playoffs have not started in this division. They should be starting shortly, and as soon as they do, we'll preview those games and get you all the info as soon as we can for intermediate 5v5.
Yes, sir. Let's go competitive. And
final division here.
I believe there was no games week 15. Yeah, everything finished week 14. So we do get the matchups, though. That's going to be happening for for the first round of for the first round of playoffs. There's no buys. No regard, unfortunately, finished 0-10. We kind of talked about the struggles that they did have. And then we get to see some really good matchups, though. Again, we get to see Braves versus Montreal Magic, so that's going to be interesting to see. We get to see them Proxon versus Raw Dogs, the rematch. We kind of got to see them on the Instagram, how we kind of posted it. Raw Dogs ended up going for 1, got the convert, and the Proxon went for 2, and they got that. So, and they ended up winning in overtime. So we get to see a little good rematch there. The Powerhouse Party Crashers that play Blue Drive is going to be interesting to see. And then we get a rematch from KGP Elite versus Flag Moi, where they just kind of played their second matchup. Flag Moi was their last matchup that ended their season, and KGP was their second last matchup where they end up getting a win. So we're gonna have some pretty good damn playoff games for competitive 5v5.
All right, so that wraps it up for obviously for 5v5, for co-ed, for women's. Obviously, we have a lot of talk about the playoffs, right? Playoffs are started in some divisions and they're coming up for a lot of the other ones. Don't forget, May 16th and 17th, we have the Road Show. So if you're new to FPF and you're not familiar with what that is, right? The Road Show, we broadcast every single finals game live, right? It's going to be on Facebook Live. It's going to be on YouTube as well, right? So you can go on, you can watch your favorite team, your favorite players. If you can't make it out to Bassard, we encourage you, of course, if you can, to make it out to Bassard. It's always a great atmosphere, finals weekend. I know our team with Ali Reza and Omar, part of Mirror Productions, they do a great job putting on the show and the production. What does the production have, you might be asking? We have instant replay. We have commentary. So Quaysie and I will be doing commentary for a lot of the games that are taking place. And like I said, you can see it all on Facebook Live and YouTube. Just come out, and if you can't come out in person, like I said, watch it on Facebook Live or YouTube. You'll hear all the commentary. You'll get all the up to the minute stats. League Feed will have all the stats for you, so it'll be up to date as soon as we go. As soon as we're live, I should say. Everything will be on there. And if you haven't, even if you're not a player in the league and you want to find out what FPF is about, come out and watch the finals, right? Come out and see what everything's about, all the hoopla, all the pomp and circumstance, if you will. It's an amazing experience. Finals weekend, you get to see the trophies be handed out. There's sideline interviews. There's always teams celebrating during, before, and after the games. Definitely, especially if you win a championship, right? That's what it's all about. That's why people sign up to play in this league. It's nice to run around, play some ball for sure, but you're playing to win a championship, and championship weekend is always something to see in FPF. So the winter season will come to an end May 16th and 17th. It'll be down in Brassard at the Complex CN. So make sure to come out. And if you can, like I said, watch it at home, watch the road show. Don't miss it. It's going to be really entertaining.
Yeah, best thing to look forward to for the championship weekend.
For sure. So like I said, that's the winter season. Spring season, if you haven't registered yet, spots are still available, but they're running out fast, right? So if you're a team looking to get in there, any of the plethora of divisions that we offer, 6v6 and 5v5, or you're an individual looking for a team, you can sign up there as well, right? Go to FlagPlusFootball.com. Registration closes May 3rd. The season opens May 26th, right? So if you haven't registered yourself as a team or as a player yet, get on FlagPlusFootball.com. Make sure you register. Uh, Spring season is coming up, so it's really exciting. You have indoor games, you have outdoor games. The weather's going to be great, unlike what we're getting now. So make sure you get in there and sign up real quick. Um, Speaking of Facebook, like I said, you could sign up to Flat Plus Football and join. You could also go on our Facebook group, right? FPF has a Facebook group. You could literally you go to Facebook, you put in Flat Plus Football. You'll see the logo of the league. You can hop in there. So if you're a player looking for a team, you could also hop on there as well. In the last episode, Quaysie did a great job. He was talking about it, right? That's where a lot of players find teams and teams find players, right? I did that myself actually earlier today, and it's a great place to stay connected to what's going on in FPF. There's reels, there's stuff from interviews. There's again the free agency stuff that's on there. There's the comings and goings, like the latest of what's happening in Flag Plus Football. So make sure you go on that Facebook group, join it, right? And if you have any questions, stuff you want to see on the podcast, stuff you want to see on the field, any ideas, any like you're looking for players to fill in as a sub, right? If you leave equipment behind at a field or you have equipment that you want to donate, right? Like go onto the Flag Football, the FPF Facebook group, and make sure to go on there and join it, and you'll be updated on everything that's happening in our beautiful Flag Plus Football community. And finally, so an important note, we have a fundraiser coming up. It's going to be a football fundraiser in the Kirkland area. It's going to be actually at Parc the Volunteers Parc de Beneville. My apologies. It's at 18180 on Elkis Boulevard in Kirkland. It's going to be May 30th. It's a fundraiser flag football tournament for the Bob Moranowitz fundraiser. Teams can enter. You have to be 18 and over to enter. There's going to be teams made up of 9 to 14 players. Okay. Each team that signs up, it's a $400 fee. So you split that between 9 to 14 players. It's not that bad at all. Each team is promised a minimum of 3 games during the tournament. And it's going to be a round robin tournament that kicks off at 9 a.m. There's going to be a pause at 1 p.m. for lunch, so you'll be fed when you're there. And at 2 p.m., they're going to have the playoffs will be starting, and there's going to be a champion crowned, obviously, at the end of the playoff games. You'll have access to trainers from the Concordia football team who will be there. And like I said, this is going to be on May 30th. And I'm looking right now, May 30th is a Saturday, so it's pretty good. You're a little sore. You can take off Sunday, the day after, for going back to work or what have you. So again, at Parc de Benevol at 18180 Elkis Boulevard in Kirkland. To register, you have until May 17th to sign your team up. That's the registration deadline. You can send your money and registration info to the Bob Moranowitz. So it's B-O-B, obviously, for Bob. MIRONOWICZ. So Bob Moranowitz fundraiser at hotmail.com. Obviously, the proceeds are going to be going towards a really good cause. And a lot of players in the FPF community, Quaysie included, have played in this tournament in the past and will most likely be playing as well next month, again, May 30th.
Yeah. So, guys, as Brent was saying, it's a great tournament. You see a lot of teams. Last year, I think there was about 8 teams. The year before that, I think there was around 10. ish. Usually it varies from 6 to 10 teams. You play a bunch of guys that maybe you would never play against. In FPF, sometimes since there's different divisions, you don't usually play versus those players. So it's a great opportunity to actually get a chance to play versus players. Everything is good vibes. Everyone's kind of just having a good time. People are eating, drinking, eating. Good vibe, good time to play outdoors. Hopefully the weather is good. The past 2 years, I believe the weather is pretty nice. And so just if you're interested, if you have a team that's interested, sign up. Again, they have great raffles too. Last year, I won some tickets. The year before that, I won like a mini barbecue. So pretty cool prize to do. And it's a great experience.
Nice. Like I said, you want to bring out the whole family, right? The stuff for the kids. There's going to be sideline activities. Like I said, it's gonna be money towards a good cause. It's actually going to be the 5th annual Bob Maranovich fundraiser. So again, for information, you can go to Bob Maranovich fundraiser at hotmail.com. All right, so that's it for this episode of FlagPlus Football's First and Goal podcast. Again, a big thank you to Tabitha Thomas and Channy, Mich for coming on to the show. Both ladies from Block Party and from She Sparks. It was nice to talk some ball with them at the top of the show. So again, thank you, ladies, for coming on. We really appreciate it. Any final thoughts?
No, just good luck for all the teams that are competing in playoffs in the winter 2025. Again, at the end of the day, the goal is to win a championship. Oh, sorry, winter 2026. I went back. This year, but winter 2026. Again, we kind of talked about it. It's to be honest. One thing you have to realize, and we said it in episode 1, that you don't get a lot of opportunities for some teams to make playoffs. Again, I was kind of saying I was in 4 teams this year, and I have 2 teams that missed playoffs. So it's something that's not guaranteed. It's a bonus in FPF. It's something that's not usually done. It's something that's not given. Like some teams don't make it. It's something that we do offer, so it's kind of cool to see. And at the end of the day, you can win a full-on championship with it, and you'll be surprised on how many players that have been in this league and don't have one championship under their name. So when you get the chance to make playoffs and go out to win a championship, try to do it, because you never know, it might be your only chance that you could do it. And you'll be surprised too. I know a lot of teams and a lot of guys that don't even make playoffs sometimes. So when you have the opportunity to do it, go for it, because it doesn't happen to everybody.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. I mean, win a championship, create some memories, they'll last for a lifetime. And it's fun, right? I mean, regular season is great. You sign up to play for the regular season. Playoffs are the added bonus, but let's be honest, this is why you play, right? I don't think some people want to play this to get out the house and have some fun, right? Run around and play ball. A lot of guys and girls that play love football, myself included. So that is nice to get out there and play some ball while your body lets you. But most of us also were playing to win a championship, right? This is why you want to add on to your legacy, and you want to see, you came and you did it. So, like I said, winter season is here. Like you said, the winter playoffs are here. They started for some divisions, and others they're about to kick off. And this is what it's all about, right? This is why you go through the regular season, and you stay in shape during the season. You hit the gym, you do all that stuff, right? Like it comes down to this. So, to all the teams that have made the playoffs, congrats! And like Quaysie said, spot on, right? Enjoy it and try to make it last pretty much as long as you can.
Exactly.
Right. So like I said, this is it for the latest episode of FlagPlus Football's First and Goal podcast. I'm Brent, he's Quaysie. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll be back next week with all the playoff breakdowns, all the playoff previews. It's the best time of the year. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Put the place up. Yeah, we know